good to have you join us on another episode of your favorite podcast program. This is the Policies and Business Opportunities podcast showing live on the African Diaspora channels in partnership with the Cross River Broadcasting Corporation, CRBC. My name is Fidelis Ubana. Now listen to this. Every thriving economy doesn't just depend on what it produces. It depends on, of course, how it sells what it produces. Now, in Cross River State, for instance, the printing and branding sector largely is at the center of the economy of Cross River State. But the question on the minds of most people is, what are the challenges the industry is grappling with? From rising costs of production to, of course, lack of manpower to expensive equipment and what have you. This afternoon on the podcast, we'll be having a conversation on navigating the printing and branding industry in Cross River State. And my guest is Mr. Essien. He is the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Presby Press Limited, Nigeria's first printing press, established in 1846. He is trained in computer engineering. He holds a professional training in graphic design, web design, branding, and print production. Mr. Essien is a creative packaging and branding expert. It's good to have you join us this afternoon, Mr. Essien. Welcome to the African Diaspora channels.
Thank you very much.
I thought you look at me. I'm the one talking to you now.
Oh.
And I let you know anyways. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
I'm looking at you. You're quite young and you are the MD, if I would say, or the CEO of Nigeria's first printing press. How do you feel managing Presby Press, 1846 to up until now? Over 180 years of existence. How do you feel being the one in charge of such an amazing company?
Well, it's been I've actually been there for a year, 6 months now. It's been a wonderful experience. Mm-hmm. Very challenging, but wonderful experience. When
you say wonderful, put that in perspective.
Well, wonderful in the sense that there's been a lot of challenging moments, a lot of how do I put this? Let me put it this way. You come into some fields expecting that, okay, this is how it's going to be, this is how it's going to be. And you need to go back to the drawing board and, redraw, restructure. And when I say it's wonderful, when you tend to, grow or build something or make changes that are positive, it gives you some certain joy. So that's where I come to make this thing. It's actually been a wonderful experience. As much as it's challenging, seeing that you're achieving one or two things, it makes it wonderful.
I agree. It makes it very wonderful for you. So, the Presby Press, I'm not focused on the Presby Press today, but I have a few questions around, the Presby Press, knowing that it's over 180 years since 1846 and they're still standing. What would you say has kept the Presby Press standing for over 180 years? What is that special thing they do that has kept them standing up until now?
To be very fair, it's the oldest printing press. When it was established, it wasn't called Presby Press.
So what was it called?
It was called Hope Bodle Printing Press.
Oh.
So if you come into Hope Bodle, you're still going to see those very old machines that are obsolete. So for the fact that we're not called Presby Press, it was rebranded at some point. I won't be able to speak for 180 something
years. I understand. It's just 1.5 years old there.
So it's going to be difficult. But I would say this. We had to, go back to the drawing board, look at what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and look at how we can, come back to being not just the first printing press in name, but to also at least for a start, try to conquer Calabar and, push out to other states.
Indeed.
So we're looking at, making a lot of change. Like I said, there's been a lot of challenge. Part of the reason I was brought to Presby Press was, to come and see how I can, effect some changes. So that's actually what I'm trying to do now.
All right, we'll come back to that, Mr. Essien, but let's quickly go straight into our conversation this afternoon. We are going to talk about navigating the printing and branding industry in Cross River State. So I did say in my opening monologue that the printing industry sits quietly at the heart of the economy of Cross River State, from, telling us what the government does to promoting businesses and all of that, to even tourism promotion as well. Yeah, the printing industry is very key in helping put all of these things on the map. But the question one will be asking is, what would you say the industry has been like in Cross River? I understand you've lived in Cross River for quite some time. You started
I grew up here.
You grew up here, so you started your journey here.
Yes.
How would you juxtapose, how the industry was many years ago and how the industry in the States is today? What would you say the difference is?
Okay. I'll say there's actually been a bit of growth. I'm using the word bit because
that's small, tiny.
Yeah, I won't use tiny.
When you say bit of growth, it means they're not too big now.
No, it's not too big, but I don't want to use tiny.
But growth today.
There's growth. There's growth, but it's slow. That's why I'm using the word a bit of growth. Okay. It's slow. I left Calabar 2007. I came back 2024. That's about how many years?
Came back some 2 years ago.
Yeah, I came back about barely 2 years ago. Yeah. So there's been growth. I've seen some changes, but not as much as I would have expected.
What kind of changes would you have expected to see after many years of living the industry in the States? You went to have your experience in Lagos and other parts of the country, and now you're back to the States. And in your words, you've seen just a bit of growth. What kind of growth would you have expected to see on your return back to the States? Okay, so now,
let me break down a bit of the printing phases or the printing business.
Yeah.
So now, when you think about branding, printing, marketing, anything, the first thing you're going to do is go and meet the creative people, the graphics designer, your creative directors and everything, because you're going to have to tell them your idea to bring it to life. So starting there, we still need a bit of training to train our graphic artists here. I wouldn't say we have very strong hands when it comes to graphics.
You think so?
I said I wouldn't say. Yes, okay. I think so because I've not met much.
Really?
Yes, I have not met.
You haven't met?
Well,
it doesn't mean they're not in existence. Or they're not
I'm not
there.
saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I haven't met much. Okay. Let's also consider that I've just been back for a year, 6 months, and most of my time I've been spent mostly in my press, trying to change things, But I get to interact with other printing firms in Calabar. I get to interact with graphic artists. I get to see some very lovely work, but not much. Not much. So starting from there, I would expect to, have a sort of more training, more exposure with our graphic artists. Because, when you get exposed, education is very, very key. But exposure is actually very, very key. At times, you get to see people get exposure, go out of where you are, and you see a lot of things that you've not seen. It pushes you to learn. You get. So I like to see them upgrade more, more competition in that aspect. Then when we now leave the printing section, we go to the press itself. There's a bit of a lack when it comes to technology.
Okay, in the States.
Yes, in the States. I'm sure you know.
What kind of tech would you want us to?
When I say technology, I'm looking at the machinery used, the equipment. They're not. I won't say they're obsolete, but the most recent equipment that you see in places like Port Harcourt, Lagos, you don't see it here. And that brings me to this. I'm sure most people at times send their jobs outside the States.
Yeah, I know that, but let me come back to the equipment, the obsolete equipment you just mentioned now. What do you think is responsible for a lack of modern standardized equipment in that sector in the States? Because, a lot of printing takes place almost on a daily basis. You go around town, you see branded materials, you see billboards, you see brochures and all of that. Yeah. Are you saying all of these things leave the States to other states?
No, I'm not saying all of them. Most of them might not be done in the States.
But you said the state doesn't have, or perhaps most printing firms don't have those standardized equipment, right? What kind of equipment are we talking about here?
There are different kinds of equipment. Now, we have different kinds of printing, the large formats.
Yeah.
We have cord, we have MO, we have. Okay, let me go to the question of MO.
What's MO?
MO is it's a offset printing machine.
I'm a bit lost. Offset. Yes, so what does that mean again?
You're going to hear
it is not my field, so you're going to hear a lot of technical break it down for our viewer right now. Okay, so what's an offset printing machine?
Okay, now when you talk about your brochure, your program, normally when you design a program, you're going to first of all do what you call separation. That's where you have what we call the CTP, the plate. You understand? Then the
what?
CTP, computer to plate.
Perfect. Can you try to say them the way they are so that we don't get lost?
Computer to plate.
Okay.
But
perfect.
you hardly hear people call it that way. It's called CTP.
For my sake, please call it that way. Thank
computer to plate. So before now, what we used to do is you do your design, You now, people still do it in Calabar. You print it on reverse on a tracing paper. So you now get a plate, you use it to expose what you have on the tracing paper to your plate. So that's lithography and everything now. Now we've gone past that. So what we do now is just from your design, it goes straight to the plate. There's a machine that handles that.
Is that machine in Calabar?
Yeah, it's in Calabar.
Okay, so we have one standard machine in Calabar.
Yeah, I think right now, I think it's just 3 people that have that machine.
In all of Calabar?
All of Calabar. One person is very, very actively using it. Yeah.
So what could be responsible for a lack of these machines in most of the printing firms? Is it the cost of buying the machines or maintenance?
Mostly it's cost.
How much does that machine cost?
City per now ranges from about 80 million naira to about 120 million naira.
That's a whooping lot of money.
If you're buying it new. For fairly used, you can get for about 30 million, 20 million, depending on the brand and should I say the quality of what you're buying.
I mean, if I buy a machine for 50, 60, 70, or even 100 million, it means there's money in that industry then.
There's actually money in printing industry.
That sounds very encouraging, you know?
Yes, it sounds very, very encouraging.
So look,
but it's not money you're just going to sleep and wake up and get it one day.
Of course, it takes over time to get it. But looking at the industry...
Go on. Let me just break this down. So now, apart from the money aspects, raising the capital to get that, you mentioned what do you call it? Maintenance.
Manpower maintenance.
That's where you bring manpower in. There are very few engineers that can manage these machines. So after you go through the stress of bringing this machine to Calabar, if it has any issue, you still have to start paying transport, paying hotel bill and everything.
To other states to fix
you
them.
still have a whole lot of high cost of maintenance.
Okay. So why do no engineers? Is it that they don't take interest in learning how to maintain this equipment or?
Okay, the sad thing is, I'm going to put it this way, because it's not just about the engineers. In manpower as a whole, some of our young people are, or should I say, I don't know if it's a Gen Z thing or is it Gen Alpha now they call them. It's difficult to get them to learn most of these trades. They have this mentality of quick money. Most of these things, you take time to learn them before you start making the money. It's a trade. So you learn it, you perfect it. And if you're not good, I'm not going to call you to come and touch a machine I bought for 120 million naira.
True.
You understand? So you need to learn it, perfect it.
How much time do I need to learn, how to fix one of these very expensive machines?
Well, as an engineer, I'm going to tell you need about 6 years.
6 years?
No, as an engineer, you need to learn like 6 years. But most of
that's a lot of time,
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
That's more like going to school to study an engineering course, full-time course.
Like that's why I said as an engineer, you need about 6 years. It's not supposed to be something.
Is this for one machine or all the machines?
For one machine.
6 years.
These machines are big. They have a whole lot of parts. They have
6 years.
You might even need more than 6 years. Apart from your training time, you also need to build experience while handling these things. So let me put it out there. I have over 25 years of experience in printing.
You don't old though for the industry.
Oh yeah, I look very young. Yes, I started quite early.
Yeah,
you understand. So for me to get to where I am, I've spent 25 years.
Do you have your own printing firm?
Yes, I.
Beyond working for Presby Press.
I came from Lagos. I own a printing company in Lagos.
In Lagos.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I see. So why don't you bring it down here? Now you're here.
To
help young people here too.
I have all my client base in Lagos.
You can also have your client here.
I'm here to run Presby Press. Bringing my company here will, conflict of interest and all.
Really?
So it now mean I'll now be trying to compete with the company I'm working with.
Oh, I see.
So that's
I like to believe that eventually you'll bring your company down here to help young people as well who have interest.
Well, I do not need to bring my company down here to help young people. I can use Presby Press, which I'm still, it's something I'm looking at starting this year to start doing trainings and and everything.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a very blunt question, right? Let's get deep down into the conversation right now. A very blunt question, and I want a blunt answer from you. You've been in the States for almost 2 years now. Okay. You've gone around. I'm sure you've seen the printing firms in the States. As a matter of fact, you've seen how the industry works in the States. What would you say is the current state of the printing industry in Cross River State? Would you say that we are stagnant, we are declining, or we're growing?
I won't say we're stagnant, and I will not say we are declining. Like when we started talking, I told you there's growth, but very, very slow.
What can we do to make the growth faster?
Okay, now there are a lot of players in this industry. So let me start from the government.
Okay.
So let me put it this way. I don't know if our port is working efficiently. Because one of the biggest problem we have in the printing industry is material, cost of material. And I'm going to use myself as an example. When I came in, I started buying materials from locally from people within the people that sell in the merchants in Calabar. But I soon came to realize that it is not helping me manage my costs, because there's competition, and one of the ways you can compete is having a very high quality at the best price you can give out.
Okay.
So I had to go all the way to first I went to Aba. I got papers from Aba. It was cheaper than Calabar, but I didn't still get what I was looking for. We now had a bit of, should I say, quality deficiency. So I now had to leave Aba. I go all the way to Lagos.
You mentioned the Calabar port. I'm sorry to interject. You mentioned the Calabar port. What role will the ports play in trying to help your industry, do better?
Now, if our role port is very functional, we can collaborate as printers and start importing directly down to Calabar. From China, from Malaysia, from places you get most of this material produced. We import down here directly. It won't just be us. Okay, which is the closest spot to, let's say, about marketers or people in Akwa Ibom and everything. Then it will open up a very whole big of economy for the state, not just us. So on the printing aspect, we'll bring our materials directly to Calabar. It will crash down printing costs, which means we are going to maximize in our profit. And when we maximize in our profit, it means we're going to actually have a more capital to invest in. Which by the time you have capital, you can start thinking of, start bringing people to do trainings for your staffs, and even training you, bringing in machines, paying good engineers to be based in Calabar to attend to your jobs, to your machines anytime you need them. So it's going to open up a whole lot of things. So apart from the ports, the other big problem we have in this sector is power.
Inconsistent power supply.
Power. So I'm going to use Presby Press because that's where I'm working, and that's where I've had a lot of experience.
You all charge your customers an extra because of inconsistent power supply. You add an extra charge because of diesel for those who use petrol. Do you use petrol for your business? Is diesel, I guess?
I use diesel, yes.
Because of the heavy machines with power. Yes. So you add an extra for diesel. Don't. You don't?
Yes, I don't. So I was trying to get to that.
Okay, let me hear you.
So I said I'm going to use Presby Press because that's where I've had a whole lot of experience. When I came in, what you're saying was being applied in Presby Press before now. So clients were being charged for diesel cost and everything, which I felt it wasn't fair on clients.
It wasn't right, yeah.
Yes, and it wasn't right. And at the same time, it was also making the cost of production very high. So the first thing I did was I went to NEPA. We didn't have, most of our machines run on 3-phase. We didn't have a 3-phase supply. So I went to NEPA. I spoke to them. They supplied me 3-phase. So that alone reduced the time I need to put on my gen. And luckily for me, I'm in band A. My office is close.
So much.
Yeah, I'm paying much, but you cannot compare it to running on diesel generator. It's not even comparable.
Do you make as much money as you pay NEPA or PHED in a month? Do you make so much of that money?
I'm profiting.
Whoa.
I'm profiting. Even
so
better
it means you get business. You get business almost every day.
Well, I won't say almost every day, but being a press owned by the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria, my biggest clients right now is the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria. So I'm responsible for doing all their publications. The church is broken down to the General Assembly that's all the church is under. We have the Synod, we have the Presbytery and everything. I'm at the General Assembly level, the GA level. So I do production for all the churches in Nigeria. So I do big quantity production.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah. So they're like my biggest clients. Yeah. So I service the church.
So recently I had an experience, right? One of my directors actually called and had a problem with trying to fix a complimentary card. So according to him, he didn't find a DI machine in Calabar that could help him produce a befitting complimentary card. And then eventually he met you and he helped him sort out that problem. So it got me thinking, is the problem the lack of DI machines or the lack of competent manpower in the sector? It's one thing to have the DI machine, right? Another thing to have people who can use it. So which of this is a major problem in Calabar?
So I'm going to break the problem down in 3 phases.
Please do.
First of all, is the financial aspect, which it's the money you need to acquire this DI machine. Like I try to give it the cost range of a computer to plate machine. To get a standard DI machine, you're looking at spending up to, I think the last time I checked, if you're buying a full range, you're talking about 40 million naira.
40 million?
Yes. So mostly the DI machine they have here are the lower end DI machines. which you can get if you're buying it for you can get for like 9 million, 12 million.
When you say lower end, you mean produced with low quality?
No. I won't say produced with low quality. In printing, there's like a phase or a stage in every kind of printing and a quality level. So this will not give you the best quality you're looking at. That's the issue he had.
Oh.
That's the issue he had.
So he went to one that had a lower end DI machine.
Yeah, and it's because of cost. So the lower end is going for about 9 million naira. So you see 9 million, look at 4 million. That's the first phase, the financial constraint phase. Then the second one is manpower. Having people I don't really think that's the big issue here. That's manpower, because in one of the things I've noticed in Calabar is that most of the people that own DI machine, they've gone as far as learning how to manage it themselves.
Is that the right thing to do?
I wouldn't say it's the wrong thing to do. It's a cost-effective thing to do.
Oh.
Because if you can, service your own machine.
Yourself. Properly,
yes. It's a whole lot of,
it saves you a lot.
It saves you a whole lot of things. So now, DI machines are the kind of machines that, they break down easily. They have a lot of parts that, get breaking down because of the turnover you're using or how you're using stress and everything. So if you can fix most of those little things yourself or fix it properly, like handle 100% repairs by yourself, you're saving yourself a whole lot of money. Imagine in a week having to call an engineer to come and fix the machine twice in a week, or even if it's once in a week. So you're going to have to be paying him every week for that. But if you can do that, you've cut costs. So I won't say manpower is really an issue. But the other issue I'm going to look at critically as a businessman is, if you bring in this 40 million naira machine, are you sure you won't be knocked off from completion? How do I mean? Now, the lower end machine will charge lower. The higher end machine will charge higher.
And so people,
how many people do you think
navigate
to the lower?
So now, lower machine because it charges lower.
It becomes a very big problem.
But then that brings in the issue of quality. You mentioned here that the lower end machines don't really give us the kind of quality we would like to see or use, but the higher end machines does that. So are you saying that people prefer to go to those machines that can give us low quality because of costs?
Yes, it happens a lot. In fact, it's one of the things I've been battling with. Trying to, apart from educating my own staff, also educating my clients. Because, there's this say in business that the customers are always right.
Right.
I do not totally agree with that. Because I used to say, I'm a customer.
Do you fight your customers?
No, I don't fight my customers. But you can't be in a business without having to argue one or two things with your customers. Yes. So at times, when you argue, it's either you're trying to argue to learn, or you're trying to argue to educate. You get. So there are times customer come, this is what I want, this is what I want. I was like, can we do it this way for you? No, this is what I want. And I was like, please, let's do it this way for you, because this is professional. It's going to speak higher for the quality of your job and everything. People are going to admire it more, I try to give professional advice. But if you're not going to take it, our hands off. So it's one of the issues we have.
You have in the industry.
Because, at times you do these things and they're like, your price is very, very high. I'm getting it cheaper here. But they forget to look at the quality. Your
price is based on the quality you give them.
Every price is based on quality in production.
So since you took over the Presby press, what kind of challenges have you had to face? I mean, knowing that there are other machines or people who do it for lower the price you do it. Have you had issues with customers coming to you outside of your church? Because you naturally said that your first customers are your church members, right?
Yes.
So beyond your church members, do you have any problems having customers
I've been able to snatch a corporate body that used to print in Lagos. I'm printing for them right now.
Not minding the price.
Not minding the price. Not
they want
the price.
Quality.
I've given them a competitive price and a quality better than what they were getting in Lagos. Yes.
That sounds good.
So now the thing is, they are, like you said, your MD, they are not very much people that are quality conscious. With the economy of Nigeria and everything, a lot of people are more cost conscious than quality conscious.
Quantity.
Not even quantity. They want quantity, not quality.
Yeah.
So you understand? So that's a bit of a problem, because I am a quality man. Like you already said, I studied engineering. And engineering has everything to do with quality. If you're not doing it in quality, you're risking people's life, you're going to kill people.
Absolutely.
So I'm a quality person. So I try to, keep a standard, follow a standard and, give quality. And that will only mean that you only get the quality people to patronize you. So now bringing a machine as much as 40 million naira, that's the high-end machine. The financial aspect or financial implication in your business is going to mean you're tying down money for a very long time. it will take a very long period of time before you even
recoup the money and make profit.
Yeah, start talking about making profit. So that's one of the things that's one of the reasons I feel most printing companies are scared of, trying.
Okay, so I also know that for a fact, I know this, that most persons prefer to take their printing jobs outside Calabar.
I agree with you.
And I can't say why. Could it be because of the machines we don't have, or perhaps the manpower, or the costs? I'm not sure, but I want to ask this question. How can we as a state, as an industry in the state, try to reduce the amount of these jobs that go outside the state? How can we keep them here? Is it by bringing in the machines, or perhaps teaching the young ones to get involved in the sector? What can we do?
Okay, so as a printing press, it's almost impossible for you not to collaborate with other press, be it locally or externally.
No, but how much of those jobs come from Lagos? You see, that's always where I have a problem.
No, I'm just trying to I'm trying to break down the whole scenario so that you have a proper understanding. Now, if when you say the jobs are going to Lagos, they shouldn't just take it straight to Lagos. Why not they look for someone locally that has a collaboration with Lagos? Why am I saying this? The reason why jobs are taken to Lagos is, first of all, we spoke about the machines, the lack of some of these machines. So even me personally, I still send some jobs to Lagos to be done.
You don't have the machines too?
Yes, I do not have all the machines. In fact, I don't think there's any printing press that can boast of having all the printing machines. Printing is a highly capital intensive. So you bring 500 million naira now for me, I cannot still get all of the machines.
Really?
Yes, really. Yes, really.
Is it that capital intensive?
Yes, it is capital intensive. That's why you notice some printing press focus on just one particular area.
Yeah, right.
So you
perhaps
need to
collaborate. Programs and church.
Yeah, it could be just offset
and all of that.
It could be offset. It could be large format. It could be packaging. It could be finishing. You get so there's a whole lot of this. The printing and branding industry is very large.
Okay, so I can choose to focus on a particular area in the printing sector.
Yes.
And then everyone comes to me for that.
So which means you have to also collaborate for other areas, for other sectors. So why am I bringing this up? Is the idea of people just, I have a job done, you just go directly to Lagos. Because you're not also helping us locally. If we collaborate with the people in Lagos, we get to do the job for you and still make a little profit. I don't even understand what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
So now, why are we even going to Lagos? The machines, there's an aspect called post-press. That's where most people say, I'm doing finishing. Post-press is after you're done with press. So in printing, we have pre-press, we have the press, and we have the post-press. The pre-press is just everything you do before you take it to the press. The press is when you're already doing your impression. The impression, you're putting it on the machines, is printing out.
And then post-press.
The post-press is after the printing, what you do, you're doing your collating, doing your stitching, doing your finishing, doing your trimming, doing, packaging, pasting and everything.
Finishing, basically.
Yeah, finishing. It's called post-press. Finishing, basically, yes. So now, there are some kinds of finishings you do not have the manpower or the skills or the skilled people here in Calabar to do them. So those kind of things, you need to collaborate with someone in a place you can do them. Maybe in Port Harcourt, maybe in Akwa Ibom, maybe in Lagos. So
we also have the problem of quacks. In the medical field, you call them quack doctors or quack nurses. So I don't know what they're called in your field, but I know that a quack is a quack.
Quack is an English word. So a quack is a quack.
So quack is a quack anywhere, But I thought there was a particular term you use to refer to them in your field, but that's by the way. So how do you deal with the problem of quacks? Because every industry has that problem, right? People want to take advantage of the system to exploit money from the public. So they are unregulated, they are not registered, they don't have any formal training. Perhaps they learned from YouTube or saw their friend doing it, and so they thought, we can do these things too. How is the industry trying to regulate or battle with the issue of quacks?
So before I answer that question, you said, perhaps they learn from YouTube. If they learn from YouTube, then if they learn properly from YouTube, then they should.
But can you learn? You just said that the printing thing is the large industry.
Yes, I still learn a lot of things. I'm still learning from YouTube.
But can you learn everything you need to know about printing on YouTube?
No. So now, I myself, I'm a graphics designer. I know how to operate some of the machines. I know how to do finishing to a level. I can handle finishing by myself, even being as an MD. That's one of the things that makes me excel in the press, because I have hands-on knowledge on almost all the area of the press. But did I learn everything from YouTube? No.
Right.
I still go to YouTube to learn.
That's what I meant,
I still go to YouTube to learn.
There's things you can learn on YouTube,
graphics,
right?
I still
There's things
go to
you
YouTube
need to learn off YouTube.
Yeah, I still go to YouTube to learn about some of the machines, how best to operate them and everything.
Absolutely.
But you can never exchange that with, hands-on. Or you have someone showing you physically, you get, and correcting you when you're making a mistake.
True.
Because if you're looking at machines, when you're trying things with machine, you can end up damaging them. When you have someone that's showing you these things hands-on, it actually sort of, it reduces risk of loss on the machine aspect, and even risk of injury on your own aspect. Because some of these printing machines, they are not things you play with. It's something that can maim you for life. Take for instance the cutting machine.
It can disfigure you for life.
I'm telling you,
fingers, your hands.
Cutting machine can cut your hand straight clean, like straight clean with your bone. It's that dangerous in a matter of seconds. You get, so it's not something you just go and start playing with.
So how does the industry regulate this unregistered?
When we talk about competition,
because they are major competition to you guys.
I have to put them as the major competitors.
They are.
Because now when you're talking about our price, you're running a company, you definitely going to have what you call a markup. Because you have machines you have to fix, you have NEPA bills like you already quoted to pay, and a whole lot of things. Now, these quacks, they don't have all those headaches. So you can be charging like a 20,000 naira markup on a job. And they tell somebody, oh, bring it, I'm going to do it for a 3,000 naira markup. So it becomes a very big problem. Because now, most people, like I said, they're not quality, they're not after the quality, they're after the price.
Quantity and the money they get.
So they will pay. Most of the times, after paying, they'll come back to you, oh, I paid for this and this thing was messed up, come and redo it for me. That's the few times they get to learn their lessons. That's when they are, giving the quacks their jobs. So, but they are very big competition because it's a big constraint to us, because you're trying to, standardize things. You're trying to, be competitive even outside crossover states. And the quacks are making it even difficult for you to grow.
Do you have like an association, a registered body known by government that helps you to deal with the quacks? Because I know that when there's an association, you can come together, have meetings, and decide on how to best compete against the quacks. Is that like a registered body?
So, okay, I'm going to answer this question, and I'm not sure some people are going to be happy when they get to hear the way I'm going to answer this question.
Be blunt about it.
I'm going to be blunt. I'm always very blunt. So now, there's a movement going on trying to put an association up. I've been for their meeting twice.
Crossover,
yes, in crossover. I've been for the meeting twice, and there are 1 or 2 or 3 things they brought up in the meeting that I actually told them pop and plain, look, this is not going to work.
What are those things? You mind to share?
Well, let me give you, for instance, I'm running a limited liability. There's freedom of association. Now, they have a meeting day, and they want to, that meeting day, everybody must close down the office for that meeting day.
You think it's not a good idea?
It's a very bad idea.
Why so?
Now, why they are going about that route is because they feel if you come for a meeting and your office is running, they don't have your capacity, or they don't have your structure, they're going to be losing clients to you for that particular day. Do
you think that's the reason why?
No, that's the idea. That's what they shared, which is not supposed to be.
So let me share an instance with you. There's a body called Tramra. No, not Tramra. So the Drivers Association in Cross River State, the minibus drivers, they have an association, unified. Yeah, that's what they're called. Unified Association, something like that. So they meet once every month or once in 2 months, and on a Saturday. And on that Saturday they meet, the circular goes around that all drivers will have to leave the road and attend the meeting. This is the reason why. Information will be passed, and they want that all drivers are present to hear for themselves what the new updates are, what the government is saying, and all of that. And I think it's a fantastic idea that we're all on the same page, we're all under one roof and talking about our business and how to grow. So maybe the idea behind them asking you to shut down for one day, perhaps a few hours on a day, is so that you can all be together and decide on the way forward for your association. But you don't think that's the reason why?
When you say they want all of us to be together, I can be there, hearing, getting all the information, contributing, but my press doesn't have to be shut down. My press can still be running while I'm there.
I see.
It's different with when you say drivers association. Without a driver, the vehicle doesn't move. So the driver needs to be there for the vehicle to move. So if he's there on the road while the meeting is going on, he's not going to be in the meeting.
But your vehicle, is that your press? Right?
My vehicle is the press. I am the driver of that vehicle.
And so they're only saying, come for a few hours. Let's talk.
I'm going to be there. I'm the one making decision in the press. I'm the one going to go is my contribution I'm going to give to them and everything. And whatever they come, I'm going to come back and say, okay, going forward, this is how we're going to operate. Because I'm the one making decision in the press. So if I'm there, it doesn't stop my staff. My staff doesn't have to be there. It doesn't mean I'm there. My staff have to close down. What if I had a government contract and I need to deliver that same day? In printing, every minute counts for your delivery time.
So you don't agree with your association on that?
I do not agree on that part, yes.
So
now I'm talking about quacks. I'm still waiting for how they're going to filter the quacks
out of
from the professionals, not the society, in the association itself. So you see my problem now. So the association is open-ended. So everybody, even the quacks, are coming for the session.
They come for the meeting too?
Yes, they come for the meeting too. And they are funny enough.
But how do you know they're quacks?
Funny enough, they are the people, well, you know a quack when you know a quack.
Really?
When you're a doctor, when you're a professional, you know a quack in your business. So now they are even the quacks are the one pushing this idea because they feel, oh, for that minute you have the capacity, you have everything more than them. So for that minute,
you're away, let them work.
When somebody comes, they don't see them, they're going to come to you. And when they come to you, you do a quality work for them, they're not going to come back to them. So you see the reasoning.
So there seem to be a lot of problems in the sector in Cross River State. And of course, like we always say, government has a role to play in all the sectors, and they say private or not private. What do you think the government can do to help the printing industry blossom? Apparently, you mentioned a couple of challenges, from lack of power to heavy machinery to lack of manpower to availability of quacks in the sector and all of that, cost of materials, like you rightly said. What can government do to help the industry blossom, to help you guys do better, to at least give you a leverage? What can government do?
So, okay. I mentioned, I spoke about the possibility of our ports working properly. You know, that will actually really help us, because when we start getting material at the best price, it will actually help us, maximize our cost and everything, or maximize our profit rather. So now another thing we can do is that when we get to that particular level, government can actually help us.
Speaking of port, that's infrastructure now.
Infrastructure, yes.
Okay, so what kind of policies do you think government can put in place to help the industry?
I'm coming to that. Even before the policies, government could actually help us with collaborating and partnering with outside investors. Normally, I'm planning to go to Lagos for an expo. There are a lot of printing expos that go on. There you get to meet other players outside the country in Africa. Right. You get to collaborate. You get to forge partnership. You get to even learn a lot of things.
Know the modern standards, modern ideas
and sector, everything you get. So these are the things that can help us stand out, grow very fast. Because without education, if you don't have education and exposure, you do what you think you're best at, only at the level of which you know it.
Absolutely.
It's when you get the education and you get the exposure, you now realize,
if you do pass yourself now.
If you do pass yourself, Absolutely. This can be done better. And this, you get, that is when you get to grow. So the government can actually see how they can, push in. If that could actually be like a tourism thing. Bring most of these people in to organize an expo here and everything. So all of us get to benefit. Now, talking about policies, government could actually, design policies to control the quacks, have professional standouts. Then one of the biggest things I think the government can do, we have one of the largest events that happened in Calabar is our carnival.
Absolutely. I was coming to that, but go on.
Okay. So now, at times when those events happen and I go around and I see all the branding, all the publishing and everything, I'm like,
what do you think of the branding? Be open with me. Be very honest with me.
For carnival.
Yes, for carnival. I mean, it's an international event, like global event.
One of the best things we do in Cross River State is usually during the carnival. So the branding are beautiful.
What's your take on the branding?
That's what I'm saying. One of the best things we do in Cross River State is during that carnival. Everything you see is wow.
Top notch. So you love the branding?
Yes, I love the branding.
Wow.
But I can tell you for a fact that this branding are not done by us. Are not done by people in the people in the industry here.
Why would you say that?
I'll give you an example.
No, let me even give you an instance, right?
Okay.
So the carnival and festival is something I am part of.
Wow.
I am part of the carnival. I am part of the festival. And I tell you for free that 99.9% of the branding materials you see is local content. I can mention names of people I know that the event office works with, the carnival Calabar office works with.
Is it possible to mention some names so I can confirm if Those names are names I also know in the industry.
Oh, Michello, for instance, I didn't want to mention, but you're forcing me to right now. Michello Graphics, for instance, is one guy that is big. He's a young guy, but he knows his onions, all right? And the banners, the posters, the branding you see.
The designs are always beautiful.
I mean, it's done by that guy.
So I don't think I know the Michello guy. I would like to meet him, but
so I quite disagree with you when you say that you don't think those things are done from here. They're done by indigenes of the state who live in the state, who pay taxes in the state, and I must give it up to the Carnival Commission for that one.
So how about the branding aspects?
Yes, local content too.
Well, okay.
Local content.
That's good. That's good to know.
Yes, like local content. Yeah,
we argue to learn.
Absolutely.
Or to teach.
So
I think I appreciate that. But going forward, I think since you say it's already local content, it's good to know. There are, like we rightly agreed. I don't know if there's a way they can make a policy, to reduce the amount of job people take outside.
I have a problem with that. Yeah, not the carnival now. This is open, generally speaking, right now. So how would the government come in there? I'm an individual, a private individual, and I want to do my job, and I have somebody in Enugu or in Port Harcourt or in Lagos I feel can do this better than somebody in Calabar. The government cannot stop me, right?
Well, that's why I said I don't know if there's the way they can make a policy. It's difficult. It's actually
Don't you think the only way that can work is if you people begin to teach the other ones, the younger ones, on how to be better at their job and how they can buy the machines needed, right, for the job?
So how do they get the capital to buy the machines if the government don't make policies?
That's where funding comes in now.
If the government don't make policies that supports funding.
So now that's where the banks come in. Not the government per se, but the banks, right?
When I came in newly, I went to a bank to talk about loan. Looking at our accounts and our inflow and everything. I proposed the bank they should give me the loan for 24 months. I'm an engineer, so I do a lot of maths. I'm not an accountant, but I do a whole lot of maths. I was looking at getting like $100 million loan. When we were talking and everything, I came to realize that in the 24 months, I'm going to be paying like 100 and something million plus the principal. So we're paying close to almost 3 million, like 300 million back on loan. Now, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing, but my question is, can I make that much money? So it was not beginning to look like a trap.
No, so I think your mind played you because you have told me right here that there's money in the industry.
There is money in the industry.
You make a lot of money for Presby Press, right?
There is money in the industry.
Now, a lot of jobs leave Calabar to Lagos, to Enugu, to Port Harcourt on a daily basis. Don't you think if you are taking that loan and set up your company to standard, where all those machines in Lagos can be found here, you will make that money? Don't you think all of those jobs that go to Lagos will come to you in Calabar? Don't you think?
Well, we're looking at probability.
No, I think your mind played a fast one on you. Because if Lagos gets the job because they have the machines and manpower, we can get the job if we have the machines, have the manpower, and have everything we need that Lagos has.
I'm going to use a popular saying. Rome was not built in a day.
I agree.
Now, you're having just, 24 months to buy these machines. Some of these machines might take over 6 months before you buy them, ship them down here, install them. It take like another 3-4 months to train people to know how to use them. You've already lost 1 year. You're not making the money yet. You get. So, like I said, I do a whole lot of maths. So when you see my mind was playing tricks on me,
I'm right.
No, you're not right, because the maths, papers don't lie. You understand? When you put figures on the table, they don't lie. You get. When you do your calculations and do your projections, they'll tell you the truth. So
your projections told you that the market is not in Calabar?
No, I've already said that it's difficult to invest like a 40 million naira on buying a DI machine, a DI machine, when you're not sure of how many people are going to come and give you turnover on that machine.
So is the market in Calabar?
You do not have that market in Calabar, not yet. Yes, there are some jobs they send out, but okay, let's do a comparison.
Okay, I'm a bit interested in this aspect now.
Yes, I'm coming. Let's do a comparison.
Yeah, right.
Like I'm coming from Lagos. I'm now in Calabar, so I can easily compare the Lagos market and the Calabar market. There's no way you can turn over what you're going to turn over in Lagos in a month. In fact, if you're not careful, 3 months in Calabar, you don't turn it over.
Is it because of the low pricing?
It's because of a whole lot of things. Now, let me put it there. In Calabar, you have more of individual clients. You actually mentioned about individual clients and everything. You have more of individual clients. Individual clients, they don't pay as much as corporate clients.
Corporate clients.
Yes.
So I see your perspective now.
I'm coming. Let me even finish.
I see your perspective.
Individual clients will not give you volumes as corporate clients.
I see your perspective right now.
So now, how many corporate clients are even in Calabar? Talking of competing to land them in Calabar.
So are you saying that if we have these machines that Lagos has in Calabar, those corporate clients will not find us in Calabar?
Now, you need to stand out. Not just having the machine. You need to have the machine. That's what I said. I did the maths. The timeline and everything.
It might take some time to recoup your money.
It might. It will take some time for you to get the machine set up and everything and get to the level of competing and start bringing those corporate clients. It's not something that is going to support. You can support with a 12 months loan. You have to pay as much as 300,000.
So are you saying that the industry in the state might not get to that competitive level as it is in Lagos?
I wouldn't say it might not. When I say it might not, it means I'm ruling them out totally. You can never. Okay, like let me put it this way. I remember when Lagos was the Federal Capital Territory before it moved to Abuja. I don't think the volumes Abuja is getting. They were getting it before now. You get.
Yeah.
So you don't know what kind of policies that might happen that might turn Calabar to a place where everybody
a printing hub. Yeah.
Now that's why we're talking about the government. Because if I remember back then when I think Donald Duke was the governor, when we had the Tinapa open and our seaport was pretty much functional, you could see that all of a sudden there was a sort of economic shift in Cross River State. A lot of things started flowing in and everything. So you have those kind of policies, those kind of things, erected or put those kind of structures put in place. You can't say you're going to count Calabar out.
So with the right mindset, right? With the right machineries, with the right policies in place, with the right
structures
funding,
and framework and everything.
Can we turn Calabar to a destination for printing?
Most definitely, yes.
Because people mostly know Cross River as tourism destination, but trust me, there are more potentials in the state beyond tourism.
Sorry, let me interject. When did people start knowing Cross River for tourism? Do you know why I'm asking the question?
Why so?
There was a time Cross River was known for tourism, right?
I agree. Donald Duke made that happen.
So you see, that's what I'm saying.
So you can make that happen too. You can take the baby steps to start making the industry.
I'm already taking baby steps.
Yes.
Like you said, your MD did the job. He came to me.
And that's why you're here today.
You're beautiful. So you know why he came to me? Because last year we met, I did a job for him that I'm sure the job really wowed him. In fact, I did a job. The job is a job that most people, when they come and see, they'll be like, was this done in Cross River State? I don't even understand. So that's because he's seen the capacity in me. So he's beginning to trust me for those kind of things. So I'm already making baby steps, and I think my baby steps, he's getting to toddler steps. It's increasing.
Beginning to yield fruit.
It's beginning to yield fruit and everything, you understand?
Where do you see the industry 10 years from today? After having this kind of conversations where minds are opened, people begin to see that beyond just taking your burial brochures to go and print, there are more you can do, with the sector. 10 years from today, what would you say the industry should be like?
10 years. Okay. Let me put it this way. I have like a 3-year plan, to have like a printing hub. That's to create a printing hub within the Presby press. Okay. What I mean by a printing hub is that once you're talking about printing, you should just think, let me get to Presby press first. I have like a template for a 3-year to 5-year plan for that. So if I can achieve that within 5 years, that's going to give Presby Press a very big name. It's going to be like I want to make Presby Press number one in Calabar when it comes to printing. So I have a 5-year plan already for that.
Fantastic.
So if I can achieve that, that's going to be a very big thing. Now, if I can get to that point, that means I'm going to be a commanding force in printing in Cross River State.
Right. A rallying point.
A rallying point, which means it is easy for me to say, okay, you know what? I want to organize like a seminar and get other printers to come. Let's collaborate. Let's talk on how we can grow beyond Cross River State.
Right.
For you to take some certain action, you need to, have a particular level of effect.
Absolutely.
For you to be able to, make some moves. So if we can do that, and we have very good collaboration within the states, with the government and everything, I think in the next 10 years, the whole perception of people taking their jobs out of crossover state will really come down.
Okay, so as a practitioner, as somebody who spends 25 years in the industry, as a matter of fact, you know the nitty-gritties of the industry, you know everything about the industry, the sector, the printing and branding sector. Looking at our sector in our state, in your words, we are still a baby sector. We haven't grown yet. We're still growing. What do you think must change urgently for this sector in the state to do better?
I think I think it's not just the printing sector. I think it's every industrial sector in Nigeria.
So let's focus on your sector now.
No, why I said so is because I said what I'm going to say is going to not affect only my sector, but for printing sector, first thing should be power. I don't know how the government is going to help us have consistent power. Why am I saying? So
that's power? A major problem.
It's a major problem. It's a major problem because to tell you that in cost of production, power takes up to 20 to 40% of the cost of production.
That's a lot.
That is a lot. That is a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time you go and do production, this price is much. People don't consider, what's the cost of power? What's the cost of running this place, powering this place to get this job done? Recently, I'm sure we can all attest to price increments in transportation. Just because of the little price added on fuel. Everywhere, there's price increment everywhere. So that's how to tell you how bad power or what strength power has in the sector. So if we can put that in place, I think it would be a very good step.
Yeah, fantastic. So power is your problem. So that can be discussed. But let's also talk about something else right now. Now, the sector.
Can I add something else to the sector?
Quickly.
Then if there's a way, that can make easy for us to access funds, you get. Like in the agricultural sector, I know it's if you have a good plan for your agriculture, you can.
Let me give you an expo quickly.
Okay.
Go to MEDA. MEDA gives loans to businesses. Okay. I mean, I just gave you an expo, so after now head to MEDA and see what you can get for your business. I think we're going to
talk about that after this.
You have to consult me specially for that then. Okay, let's talk about something very interesting right now before we wrap up the conversation now. The States is an amazing place. We have diasporans watching this. It's a diaspora channel, actually. We have brothers abroad watching this channel, and they would like to know what opportunities exist in your sector that they can invest in. But before we talk about that, you had mentioned things that must change, right? Power, you said, is number one thing that must change. But beyond power, what else should change? Don't you think with the right attitude, things can work better? Don't you think with the right manpower, the industry can do better? Because you had earlier mentioned that a lot of people don't want to take up jobs in the sector because they feel it's a long-term thing. They want quick money, right? They want short-term rewards without really putting in the work. What would you say to a young person watching this channel right now? A young school leaver, perhaps somebody without a job. What opportunities are there that they can take up and begin to do something for themselves meaningfully?
Okay, so what I do these days is I try to take a few interns. What do I mean? You're done with secondary school. Why waiting to get to your university?
You have interns?
Yes, I do have interns.
That's good to know.
So I bring them in. I first make them understand the whole printing industry. And the easiest thing you can learn very fast, because when we talk about the whole taking 6 months or 6 years to learn, we're talking about when you're trying to learn how to fix the machines. That's not an easy task. That's not something you're going to learn within months. But there are things you can learn within months. I'm not going to say graphics. Graphics is not something you learn within months.
I see 3 months graphics courses everywhere. 3 months, 6 months.
By the time you're done with that 3 months, you're going to be below 20%.
So how much of time do I need to learn good graphics design?
You're going to have to put in about a year.
You're wanting the long way there.
No, because is there any professional course you learn?
No, I mean, so usually people think graphics design is just to have a laptop and
that is why we have a whole lot of people that are quacks in graphics design. Yes.
Really?
Really?
So I need a year to learn.
I hope you know that graphics design is a clear professional course. That people go to schools to learn for 4 years, 5 years. So that's why I was going to ask, is there anything that you're going to do professionally that you think you're just going to do it within a month or two?
With the presence of YouTube and a couple of things, I mean, the time for learning has actually reduced drastically. Don't you think so?
When you go to YouTube, get a full course to learn something like Photoshop or CorelDRAW or InDesign. You're going to see a course that is going to span to like 40 hours, 60 hours. Now, you're not going to learn that whole thing in 60 hours. Because for you to perfect a 3 minutes section of the course, you're going to need days. perfect a 3-minute section. It's going to show you how to do these things, but you need to learn it and do it perfectly and understand why you need to do it that way and when you need to do it that way. So it's not something you do in a rush.
Right.
That's why that I sit down to do a graphics for 30 minutes. It tells you that I've been doing it for 25 years. That's why I can do it for 30 minutes.
Right.
I'm sure your in-house video editor is going to tell you a 1-minute animation video can take you 8 hours to do as a professional. Now, if you're not a professional, you can use 3 weeks. You won't even achieve what a professional is going to do in 8 hours. So it's not something I'm going to tell you, you're going to learn it in 3 months. And let me even shock you, most of the computer schools you see outside there, when they are done, I have an intern right now that came from a computer school and I keep asking him, what did they teach you? Because there are little things in graphics that are very professional. That even the people, most of the teachers in those schools, they don't know them because they're not doing graphics professionally. They might not even have learned it professionally. Okay, now because of time, Mr. Essien, let's go into numbers, right? I'm interested in numbers. Your industry runs with numbers, right? Quantity, volume, and the money comes in from the volume. Could you give me a breakdown of how much it costs to print a brochure of a burial or maybe any brochure at all? Right? How much it will cost me or anybody to print and how much your profit will be from that brochure. Just one, for instance. Okay, like now, we run at about 20% markup, which means if the cost of a production is 100,000 naira, we're going to charge you 120. 20,000 naira is going to be like our profit. Now, does that sound much or small? Okay, so when I meant you break it down, I wanted you to tell me that. So if I want to do a brochure, I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to do that. So now, it's difficult for me to just give you a price. You want to do a brochure? Bring 500k, bring 300k. There are things we need to consider. What are those things to consider? What quantity of brochure are you going to do? Let's say 500 pieces. How many pages are the brochure going to be? 5 pages. What size is your brochure? I don't know your sizes, tell me. So now you see there are a whole lot of things. So you have to decode me on the sizes now. If you're doing, there are different kinds of brochure. If you're doing the normal standard burial program, you're looking at doing an A4. A page is going to be as big as an A4 paper. When you spread it open, it's going to be an A3 paper. So do you charge per page? No, you don't charge per page. You take everything into consideration and charge. Okay. Now, why do you do that? If you're going to do a 20-page program and somebody is going to do a 40-page program, I'm going to need twice the paper quantity, quantity to do the 40-page and the 20-page. But usually the contrast is that you charge lesser for volume. I'm going to explain that contrast. Why? Why does it happen that way? It happens that way. Let me put it, when we were talking earlier, I mentioned CTP and you were like, I should break it down. I started explaining some process. You do design, you do plates. Now, when you do plates, that single plate you've done has a cost for it. Okay. So now, let's say you want to do a burial program. I'll do the same plate for you. You're printing 500 copies. The price does not change for the plates. Let's fix the plate for like 10,000 naira. The plate is 10,000 naira. So that same plate is just a process in the production. That's as accumulated 10,000 naira cost. I'm going to have to put it on my machine and run impression. Impression is charged per 1,000. You're doing how many? 500. So now the cost of impression is going to be added to the cost of plates. You get for 500. Don't forget it's per 1,000. When you're doing 100, you're doing 200. It is 1,000 you've paid for. So nobody's going to tell you, because it's 100, it's less. It's charged per 1,000. Per 1,000. You understand? I see. So now, that's one. The cost of plates plus the cost of impression is going to add up to other costs to give you for. Now, for the same job, you come back. You want to print the same job. You want to do 10,000 pieces. Now, I can say, okay, because you're doing 10,000 pieces, I can decide, this is one of my clients. Okay, the cost is high. I can decide to give you, I'm still going to charge you per 1,000. But I can decide, okay, I'm going to reduce the cost per 1,000 for you. To 900. Now, you're still going to use the same plate, which is still 10,000. So now, the other one will be the cost of the plate divided by 500 to give you how much the cost effective of the plate is going to have on your job. Now, for the same 10,000, the same cost is going to be divided. So if you divide 10,000 by 500, you know how much it's going to be. You divide 10,000 again by 10,000, that's 1 naira. So on each unit, the plate cost of this one is going to be 1 naira. On the other one, the plate cost is going to be about how much? I think that's 500 divided by 10,000. That's about 20 naira. So you can already see the cost implication. That's why for the more quantity you do, the lesser you pay. And it's not only in printing. It is in everywhere, every sector. I noticed that, yeah. Everything even production. T-shirts, when I do t-shirts, I pay less when I do more. I can even break down the t-shirt for you. Now, the cost of the t-shirt. Let's even go there because of time. We have to run now. Maybe you'll come back to explain that. But I have a bit of understanding in the t-shirt area because I do a lot of
t-shirt printing and all of that.
How come you've not been coming to us?
Well, I have just met you, so perhaps we'll start working after now.
Thank you very much.
All right, so as we begin to wrap up the conversation this day, let's talk about opportunities that exist in your sector. Diasporans are watching. I mean, we have Cosivarians who are interested in investing in our state, but they don't know where to invest their money. And if we invest here, we're going to get good returns on our investment. Talk to diasporans now. The printing sector is very viable. I would like to say it's still very much untapped in the States. So what would you tell our diasporans watching? What areas in your sector do you think they can invest their money in and begin to reap returns eventually?
Okay, so I like the fact that you use the word investment. So I'm sure the people you're talking about, you understand that investment doesn't just happen overnight.
Of course.
So like we established, the printing business sector, it's a money-making sector. So we have let me start with one of the things I've already started implementing. If you decide to invest in getting materials down to Calabar to sell at a better price, you're going to have a whole lot of turnover. Let me just give a little breakdown. There's a particular paper we call the art paper. In Lagos, you can get the paper for about 60,000 naira a ream. In Calabar, it's sold for about I think 72,000 naira a ream.
Oh, the cost difference.
12,000 naira gap.
Difference, yeah.
So now you're going to start thinking of transportation. So if you load a trailer full of that, a trailer has, or is a big trailer, you're going to be paying as much as about 2 million, 3 million naira. But by the time it gets down here, one particular ream, by the quantity you're going to carry, is going to be costing you about 500, 1,000. So that means your landing cost in Calabar is going to be about 61,000 naira. So you can already see the margin. So now, if you sell it for a very good price, everybody's going to rely on buying from you. So you already know how much you've invested. And you know, you can already calculate your turnout time.
Of course, and your profits eventually.
Yeah. So it's something that you're going to sell off, you're going to make good profit. Make as much as 30-40%, which I don't think you get it from any, not even money market gives you that.
So how about the machinery area? Because that seems to be a major problem.
I didn't go to that part because it's a longer investment. It's a long-term investment.
Diasporans have money. Talk to them. They have money that would invest.
So now when you bring this machine, you need to give time for the installation, for the training and everything. And you're not going to make that money within a short period of time, but I can absolutely...
Also within 5 years?
We are going to make your money within 5 years.
Then, on the machine, I mean, that's reasonable time then.
Yeah. And now when you have those machines and you do proper marketing and everything and you start having the volumes coming, just one job, one good job with good volume can make the money for you. I've
had an amazing conversation with my friend and brother, Mr. Essien, a branding and printing expert who lived all his life in Lagos, actually grew up here, but eventually left for Lagos to do his business and then returned just about 2 years ago to help the industry grow. He runs the Presby press, and that is the oldest press in Nigeria, established in 1846, 180 years. And I'm glad that the young man is running that place anyways. Not some gray-headed young man. That's by the way. But thank you so much. That's money, plenty money. That's our show today on the Business and Policies podcast, showing on the African Diaspora channels in collaboration with CRBC TV. I'm back again next week. Until then, keep watching. My name is Fidelis Ubana. Bye-bye.